Alrighty, it is now 10 o'clock Central, and want to thank everybody for joining our Social Security Claiming Guide webinar this morning. And this is Brady Pelzer, Annuity Sales Director here with IAMS, and Dave Pimper is going to be doing the Social Security Claiming Guide webinar this morning with us. And before we get into that, we'll talk to you a little bit about IAMS and the resources we offer to our agents and advisors. The first resource we offer to our agents and advisors is a marketing reimbursement new producers builder program. On top of marketing reimbursement opportunities based on production, there's a good blend of incentive laden rewards in here. For example, the $500,000 level, as you can see, a trip to the Ritz-Carlton, really just a nice thank you from us to you for producing under IAMS. Another way we've always gone about building our own business, helping producers out there build their business as well, is our Business Builders program. So any producer that you are kind enough to refer to us to do business under IAMS, will give you a $50 one-time bonus up front. And then you can see based on production that they write through IAMS ongoing. Certainly, for example, index annuity, 20 basis points for each dollar of production that comes through the door from that producer. Just another thank you from us to you for being kind enough to refer another producer to do business with us here at IAMS. Our big thing is back office support here at IAMS. Service always comes first. We understand that the sooner we can get things done from application to issue standpoint, the sooner the client has their contract part, the sooner you get paid, the sooner we get paid as well. Resources we offer are business building tools and resources. One neat one is Retirement Analyzer. We'll get into that here pretty soon. We have case design assistance. That's the name of the game. And like I said, big thing is, especially from a paperless contracting standpoint, our EAP system, the sooner we can get the application to the carrier, any outstanding requirements, we'll be the first one to know, you'll be the second to know. The goal is to get these contracts to issue as soon as possible. As alluded to, we have our FireLight system. A good number of our carriers, believe half of our carriers now are in our FireLight system, including our core carriers. And the ease of this is EAP expedites the process for it to enter suitability by 3 to 4 business days. So certainly each day matters, especially when we're talking about qualified funds with market exposure given the present market uncertainty. This is a good list of our carriers in our FireLight EAP system. All right, another thing we have here is our creative marketing team. Marketing is always the name of the game in this industry, whether it be more traditional routes of turnkey solutions, letter notes or letterheads, flyers, handouts, things of that nature. We have agency solutions, building your brand, logo designs, business cards, brochures, to anything from a digital standpoint, whether that be web page development, social media consulting, you name it, we're here to help you in any regard, any vision you may have for your business. We are here to assist you in bringing that vision to fruition. We also have our IAMS website. So as you can see, there's an example of it there. That's the front page of it. We have excellent sales tools available, as well as term quoters. The resource Retirement Analyzer I alluded to earlier, it's on the next slide as well. Go into a little bit more detail on that, but that's also available through our IAMS site. Annuity grids, really just great resources available to each and every agent that is contracted here at IAMS to help you understand what products are out there for you, as well as resources, sales tips, things of that nature. And as I've alluded to, our retirement analyzer is a popular program we have here. It's one of those softwares, digital softwares that put all the moving pieces that an individual may have in their financial picture, put all of those into one bar, one graphic to sort of show them, hey, here's where you are based off of the discussions we've had. These are your intentions for retirement. And it really just makes it a very easy to read for the average consumer database on one sheet of paper to say, here's our gaps. Here's the best way to fill those gaps. Here's my suggestion for you. We also have IAMS Wealth Management. We have a wealth management leg here in RIA. The big thing with this is whether you are securities registered presently and are interested in hearing more about our RIA platform, or if you are interested in obtaining your Series 65, you're not quite securities registered presently, we will help you obtain that Series 65 licensing if you are interested in doing so. And with that said, if you are interested in hearing more about IMS Wealth Management, feel free, signify yes, and we'll certainly get a little bit more information out to you regarding our RIA platform. All right, leave this open for 5 more seconds. Perfect. Thank you, everybody who voted. Those that notified yes, we'll certainly get some more information out to you regarding IMS Wealth Management. Another awesome resource we offer to agents and advisors are life and annuity academies. We actually just wrapped up one from the 6th through the 8th of April last week. We're having another one the first week of August. As you can see here, it's not so much about product specific at these conferences. It's more sales tips and tricks. So the very first top line item, sales ideas and strategies from 4 top producers. These are top producers in the industry talking about what works for them, what they've seen from a trend standpoint. As we know, business in this industry is always shifting. Goes into index annuities, that's the product specifically, but really more so comprehensive. How can we help introduce new ideas, new concepts, new prospect generating ideas and concepts to help promote you and your business, help you produce more effectively and more voluminously. Prior to that, if you are interested in hearing more about the IMS Life and Annuity Academies, notify that during this poll question, and much like the IMS Wealth Management, we'll get more information out your way. Leave this open for 5 more seconds. Alrighty, thank you everybody that voted. We'll certainly get that information out to those that notified yes. Another great thing we have is our Top Producer Summit. Originally, we were going to be going to Europe. However, with COVID-19, we had some complications on that end, and we have now rescheduled to our new destination, the Green Beer. And that is going to be going on October 2nd through the 6th. We still have a few months for qualification through June. So it's never too late, knock out a good number of cases between now and then. You can certainly qualify for this trip to this resort. And again, just another thank you from us to you for producing under IMS. We certainly want to recognize those that are producing and producing at a high level. It certainly does not go unnoticed and it is always greatly appreciated here at IMS. Lastly, go ahead and follow and like us, connect with us on social media. There's our Facebook link as well as our LinkedIn link. We're posting consistently on both channels. Market trends, carrier specific. If a new product comes out that's very neat, we find a good marketplace for that. we'll post it out on there, as well as keep you up to date with those life and annuity academies, anything that's going on from a marketing perspective here at IAMS. And with that said, I'll go ahead, pass it on over to Dave Pimper for Social Security claiming.
All right. So the whole subject of Social Security claiming to many folks is really, really confusing, and not just to individuals, the John Q and Josephine public, but also to the advisor in general. Most retirees get little advisor help on Social Security. I think this is very interesting by Sarah O'Brien out of CNBC. And it says a majority of older Americans get no professional advice about a key part of retirement planning, and that's Social Security, even if they work with a financial advisor, a recent study said. How interesting is that? I mean, most advisors, only about one out of every 20 advisors really understand Social Security. Only about, maybe 2 out of every 100 really understand. So this is a quiz, and I want you to take this quiz with me. Brady, we got a bunch of people on the webinar with us today, which is wonderful. They probably came because they wanted to hear your introduction.
Hey, I mean, I'm not taking the credit for it, but I truly appreciate you.
Yeah. Okay, so it says a Social Security test only 1 in 300 seniors could ace. So I want you to take this quiz. So we'll go to the next slide. Now, this slide reads, to maximize your monthly Social Security checks, at what age must you claim benefits? To maximize your monthly Social Security checks, at what age must you claim benefits? Well, I'm going to say right now, I want you to guess this at what that age is, okay? So go ahead and guess or know what that answer is, and then we can go to the next slide. So it is not full retirement age, but it is. Keep on clicking. One more. There we go. 70. And that's especially if you're a single person. Sometimes it differs with married filing jointly, with survivor, divorced, but with single, 70 is, that's the longest you can let it go to maximize your benefit. Next slide. Here's the question. What's the earliest age you can receive survivor's benefits if you're not disabled? What's the earliest age you can receive survivor's benefits if you're not disabled? Well, you gave him the answer.
I got trigger happy there.
Age 60. That's right. Brady, my cohort here, is giving you the answer. Well, at least you're going to get one right because it is age 60. It's a 28.5% discount, but you can take it. Next slide. Got to kind of click through all this. Next slide. Number 3. Does your spouse need to receive benefits for you to qualify for spousal benefits? Does your spouse need to receive benefits for you to qualify for spousal benefits? Yay or nay? Okay, let's see the answer. It is yes, they do. Question number 4. Can divorced spouses receive spousal benefits? Can divorced spouses receive spousal benefits as if you're still married to them? Yes or no? Brady, I'm going to cut your index finger off.
I thought you were prompting me like a game show. Yes or no?
I'm a terrible Vanna White. Okay, so yes, if 4 stipulations are met. So if you guessed yes or you knew yes, it is. But if you can guess 2 of the 4 stipulations, I'm going to give this answer correct to you. What has to line up? The stars and moons have to line up. What are they? Now we can click a couple. One more. Here we go. Here they are. First one, your marriage had to be at least 10 years or longer continuously. Second one, you're currently unmarried. Third one, your ex is at least 62. Fourth one, your divorce was 2 years ago or longer. Those 4 have to line up to get it, but if you got 2 of the 4 right, I'm going to give it to you. Okay, next slide. This is the last question. Are you eligible for survivor's benefits if you're divorced? Are you eligible for survivor's benefits if you are divorced? Yay or nay? You got a 50-50 chance on this. Okay, now Brady. Yep, you are eligible for survivor's benefits if you're divorced, but those four stipulations have to be met. Remember? Yeah, what are they? 10 years or longer, currently unmarried, X 62 or older, 2 years or longer for your marriage. Only 38 people, they knew yes or no, but very few people know once the stipulations come in. Though I'm giving you this last one. So how'd you do? Most people didn't do very well. And the reason is they really don't have a true understanding of Social Security claiming. This comes from Jenna Herron from USA Today a couple 3 years ago. Doing this one thing with your Social Security can mean losing 100,000 in retirement. It's a lot of money. So bullet point one is, or first bullet point, how much does claiming Social Security at the wrong time cost you? Retirees will lose an average of 111,000 in income per household over their lifetime. Why? Listen to this closely. Because they took Social Security benefits at the wrong time. Only 4% of retirees took Social Security at the financially optimal age. I am. My wife did. My wife took early. I'm taking later, but it's optimal for us. Next slide. Yeah, Social Security's been around for a long, long time. Actually, since 1935. First check issued in 1940. The first age that you could take Social Security was only one age. It was 65 for until 1961 when they reduced it to 82. And then later they increased it. You could wait as long as 70 for your full retirement age. 70 to get your full benefit amount. So now you have to claim between 62 and 70. Cost of living automatically started in 75. There's only been 3 years, 2010, 11, and 2016. There hasn't been a COLA. Was never taxed until the trust fund ran out of money in 83. They started taxing if you're above a certain bracket. Up to 50% of your income early. Then now it's up to 85% of your income for Social Security could be taxed. Bipartisan Budget Act was the last big tax reform where they did file and suspend, phase it out for 6 months, and restricted application actually phases out January 1 of 2024. Next slide. Yeah, Social Security plays a major part. 59% of retirees count their Social Security benefit to be the major source of income. The major source of income. Okay? Next slide. 3 dates are important, or ages. The earliest you can take it, 62 at a discount. The latest you can wait, which was one of our questions, 70 at the full amount. Age 66 to 67 is full retirement age. That's the basics of Social Security. Can it have a huge value? Darn right, if you claim at your right time. Not the right time, not a right time, but claim at the right time. Next slide. Still running by the end of 2020, they're always a year behind, but the trust fund had not been touched since '84. Still running a $7 billion increase at just shy of $1 trillion coming in for revenue. It's almost a certainty that it will run a deficit in 2021. That should be coming out here within the next couple of months. And we think with people retiring and people because of the pandemic and so forth of taking Social Security. If the Social Security Trust Fund continues, it will dwindle down to nothing in the year 2034, with only about 76 or 7% of your income you'll be able to receive. There'll be a reduction because you can't take from the trust fund because it wouldn't be there any longer. That's when they call about being bankrupt, but it's not. Social Security is a pay-as-you-go system. So, are there ways that we can? Next slide. Are there ways that we can go in and to counterbalance that? Yeah. If they're talking about raising the full retirement age higher than 70, or the full retirement age higher than 67, phase it into 68. Maybe the 70 to get your maximum benefit is raised to 71 or 72. There could be taxation we could do. There's all kinds of things you could do to Social Security. There's no taxes paid above 147,000 for this year. There's no RICOLA year to year. We can start taxing above that. So I think there'll probably be some type of age change and some kind of taxation change. Next slide. Hey, if you have any questions, certainly type them on in. I'll be more than happy to answer those. I will say this: I just did an annuity academy with IAMS. I've been with IAMS for 16 years. I've been coaching with IAMS for 14. I'm still in full production. I'm a busy boy. I like getting in front of a lot of people, which I do through marketing. I have a Social Security workshop tomorrow. I think there are for that one. There's 25 people signed up. Yeah, 25 are signed up for tomorrow, and I think there's 15 signed up for on Thursday. Not everyone will come, but the majority will. And my goal is to get 10 appointments out of that. Well, the cost of that is $2,750 for seminar marketing. And I tell you, most people don't do Social Security seminars because they don't know Social Security. I will coach you up at no charge. IAMS pays me to coach you on Social Security claiming. You get 3 sessions. You can use me anytime you want to. but marketing and get in front of people, wouldn't it be nice to have 10, 12, 13 new appointments? Also, Retirement Boss Radio. I mean, last month we got 11 appointments. The month before that I got 20 in a month's time. But that's an hour radio show called Retirement Boss Radio. Take charge of your money. This last week we got 4 set appointments. It's just beautiful to line those up. So between radio and seminars, I hope to have anywhere between 20 and 30 appointments set every single month. Now think about that of how much business comes in. And so Social Security can be a moneymaker. Or if you don't want any kind of marketing, I coach Social Security for $800, 4 sessions, $200 a session, and you've got full use of me anytime that you need me for questions with Social Security. That's just a la carte. So 3 different ways. Something an FMO, the FMO offers something like that in the industry. So is it a pay-as-you-go system? Yeah, it's paid by payroll taxes. That's 6.2%. Employee pays half, 6.2%. The other is paid by the employer. Does the government borrow against those? They're actually special issue treasury bonds. They do. And they issue IOUs. No different than the dollar bill in your pocket. Nothing hard to back that dollar bill, not gold, not silver, not platinum, not bonds, but it's an IOU to the U.S. government. Is Social Security a Ponzi scheme? Absolutely not. It's not. They've never missed a payment. Next slide. Yeah, figuring out your benefit, it gets a little tricky. You need 40 quarters of coverage. So this year, $1,510 is 1 quarter of coverage. It's $6,040. If you make $6,040, you get 4 quarters. If you make $1,510, you'll get at least 1 quarter. You need 40 of those guys to have a Social Security benefit upon retirement. Okay, and so a minimum, if you make the minimum amount of money, your benefit might be $400 to $500 a year. If you make the maximum, meaning you make up to this year $147,000, your benefit's going to be just under $3,200. That's the maximum for a Social Security benefit. Now, if you wait longer than full retirement age, if you wait to 67, 68, 69, yeah, absolutely, it can grow and grow and grow. It can be well over $4,000 on a high-end benefit. So you got to have 40 quarterly credits. The earlier you start, the less it is. The longer you wait, the bigger it is. They take your 35 highest inflation-adjusted years. So even though you only made $18,000 back in the 70s, that might be one of your highest years. Cost of living this year was the highest in a long time, 5.9%. They just came out this morning. I don't know if you saw this, but inflation is running 8.5% right now, highest in 40 years since Ronald Reagan's time. Next slide. Yeah, full retirement age. Gotta love that dog. Full retirement age. If you're born from 1943 to 1954, the full retirement age is 66. I was born in 55, 66 years and 2 months. If you're born in 56, it's 66 years and 4 months. Stair steps up 2 months a year to 1960 or later. Full retirement age is 67. 67. Next slide. If you take early, it's discounted. If you take as early as 62, which you can, you're going to be discounted somewhere between 25 and 30% for the rest of your life. Next slide. If you wait longer to take your benefit than full retirement age, just like myself, mine's 66 years and 2 months. So actually, on May the 9th will be June the 9th will be my first full year that I have the delayed retirement credits. So get a load of this, and I got it because I've done well financially. So my benefit, I'm just saying, let's say it's $3,000. Well, my benefit's going to go up a guaranteed 8% for the delayed retirement credits I waited 1 year, plus the 5.9% inflation. That's 13.9%. Okay, so that means it's going to raise $417 this 1 year between delayed retirement credits and the cost of living allowance. Well, you do that for a couple of years and you're nearing $1,000 extra in your Social Security over 2 years. It's wild. That's a lot of money. Those are like mini pensions every single year. Okay? The longer you wait to 70, the bigger your benefit is. Next slide. I'm a big believer that if you know the individual benefit, spousal, divorce, survivor, and restricted application, you can answer probably 80-85% of all of the questions that are thrown at you as an advisor. But getting coached up in understanding social, it will make you money. And especially if you're deriving that from Social Security workshops. I mean, we just had this annuity academy. I think we had 34 people that were there in West Des Moines. And I will tell you what, I mean, we got tons of people wanted to know more about marketing with seminars and with Retirement Boss Radio. We just signed up a seminar person yesterday. So, you know, we get the seminars. We guarantee 35 people will sign up. That's the one guarantee that we do give. But you've got my help to walk it through, and you'd rather take that help from someone who's I've done well over almost 550 seminars now, public seminars since I started. And about 32 years of my 41 I've done radio. So here's what happens is spousal benefit. Dave's PIA primary insurance amount is $2,400. Amy's PIA, that's the amount at full retirement age is $1,200. Dave takes his, Amy takes hers. Dave gets $2,400. Amy, the lesser, gender neutral, but the lesser income, can take all of hers, $1,000, or half of Dave's, which is $1,200. Well, which one are they going to do? They're going to take half of Dave's, no doubt about it. That's how that spousal benefit works. Now there are certain innuendos and there's certain sidetracks and detours off of this, but that's basically how the spousal benefit works. Next slide. How about divorce spouse benefits? That survivors they leave money on the table all the time. Marriage lasted 10 years or more continuously. The current spouse is unmarried. The ex can be, but not the current, the one taking the benefit. Ex is at least 62 years of age. And the divorce was 2 years ago or longer. Yeah, if that's the case, you can use your spouse just as if you're still married to them. Why is that important? 567 options for a married couple. Many less for a single person. Many more options. Next slide. How about survivor's benefit? My wife says, we're guaranteed we never get out of here alive. Just doesn't happen. So in this scenario, Dave and Amy are married. They're both full retirement age, so there's no discounting. Dave's benefits $2,000. Amy's benefits $1,200. Who normally dies first in a marriage? Not always. Doesn't make a difference, but Dave, the male, does. Dave dies. Well, here's what happens is his $2,000. Amy can keep her benefit, or she can drop her benefit and jump up to Dave. She can't keep them both. Okay. So what you going to do? She has to request it. Remember, with with survivors benefits and with divorced spouse benefits, you have to ask for the benefit. By jumping up, she gets $800 more. Also, what you can do, which is pretty cool, you can go in if you're still working, or it depends, but you can go in and take one benefit and let the other grow, and then turn that other one on later. If you take the widow's benefit and let yours grow, you actually can turn that on and earn delayed retirement credits, which you can't with the widow's benefit. But there's some file and suspending there that did away with in the Bipartisan Budget Act, but not with survivor benefits for couples. Next slide. Coordinating spousal benefits. Next slide. Called restricted application. You got to be born before January 2nd of 54. So you got to be 68 years and basically 4 months. If you're not 68 years and 3.5 or 4 months, and you can't do this benefit. So not many people can do it at all now, but I'll explain how it works. Next slide. What you're doing is the higher individual, Dave here, his PIA primary insurance amount at full retirement age is 2,400. Amy's is 1,000. Amy takes her benefit. Dave wants to let his benefit grow, get the guaranteed 8% delayed retirement credits per year. Well, if he does that, he just checks the box and now he's restricting his application instead of just letting it grow. He gets half of Amy's $1,000 as a spousal benefit. Pretty, just free money. That's $6,000 a year is free money. $6,000 a year. I mean, you could, if you did it now, it'd be over 10 grand of free money that he would have just given up. Pretty neat. Called restricted application. Very few people does it apply to now, but if the shoe fits, it's like Cinderella's slipper. It's really pretty cool. Next slide. If you have any questions at all, type them on in. I'll be more than happy to answer those for you. Okay? So, what can Social Security personnel do and can't do? You know what they can't do? They can't give you advice. When I got into the business, I talked to my CPA, lawyer, my banker, all getting up in age. Two have retired now. And I said, so if a person's got questions and you want to send them to someone to get advice, who do you do it to? And I actually meant an advisor, but they said Social Security Administration. Social Security Administration can only give your highest benefit right now. They can't give advice. Wild. We do. I do. They can't. Have you ever seen a Social Security seminar hosted by Social Security Administration? Never. They don't do them. Next slide. We do them. Absolutely. Off of the Program's Manual, number D, provide enough information so that claimants can make informed choices, but do not give advice. Yeah, can't give advice. We can, and we do. So so many people come to an event like this. Next slide. Gotta consider all your income streams. I mean, and I'm going to read those because they're that important. Social Security, it's not a standalone income stream. Social Security is the most flexible of the 5 income streams, claiming at your right time, not the right time or a right time. And the survivor's benefit, yeah, don't forget about when some engineers or math people will try to figure out the exact break point for themselves. They're not considering about the survivor benefit. My mother is going to be 99 in August. She's been deceased from my father for 17 years. She has a survivor benefit for my father for that 17 years. What a big deal. Next slide. I do this as a working sheet to figure out assets, and really, I try to figure out everything here I can about the client when I'm kind of prospecting to see if I go on to the next appointment. But wages, full part-time pensions, if you're lucky enough to have income-producing assets, 401ks, IRAs, 403bs, RMDs on traditionals, Social Security goes in and complements those. There's really only one here that makes us money when I'm uncovering. It's not wages, pensions, or Social Security, unless they're reinvesting their RMDs. Yeah, it's their income-producing assets, and I do a lot of rollover work with that pre-retired or just retired from, because we're mailing to basically 50 to 55 the minimum, up to 70 for Social Security. And the ideal age I normally work with is 63.45. Next slide. Gosh, there's just a lot to consider. before you claim Social Security. A bunch. Next slide. Remember I told you there's three ways? Seminar marketing, $2,750. Hope to get 10 appointments. That's $275 after you've already introduced yourself. They've warmed up to you in the seminar. Retirement Boss Radio normally runs between $3,000 and $4,000 all in. Just a little higher quality client normally than the Social Security seminar. But that's really, we got Retirement Boss Radio. We're nationalizing this. It's our brand, trademarked. Or you don't want you don't want marketing. You just want to understand Social Security. 4 sessions for $800. I mean, we give you every possible way to go in and to get taught up, or as they say in the backwoods of Nebraska, get learned up on Social Security claiming. I'm not patting myself on the back, but very few FMOs, distribution firms, insurance distributions, have someone that can coach you on Social Security claiming. And you can call, text, you can email me anytime you want to get answers. Okay, so it's just really having kind of that board of directors on your team. Next slide. There's no saying, and I've used it, for 35 years. It says, procrastination is my sin. It brings me constant sorrow. I really shouldn't practice it. Perhaps I'll stop. Tomorrow never comes. I've never had anybody really be successful if there wasn't some action that was being taken. I don't hear people say to me, gosh, Dave, over my lifetime, I got rich from procrastinating. Just does not happen. If you heard something today in this webinar to get you off a dead center, Brady, put up the poll, would you please? There's a poll, Brady Pelzer, who's going to will call you if you mark yes on this, but this is a 15, 20-minute call just to maybe see how Social Security could help your prospecting, could help your bottom line in production. We're not Santa Claus. It's great to have this information, but it's great to make money, not at the client's expense, but being a partner with that client of having a really good investment, whether it be fixed index annuity, life insurance, long-term care, wealth management. Yeah, that type of help that you can give your prospects or eventually your client. Social Security can play a key role. One of the biggest concerns in every poll is about retirement is when to take Social Security. And now you can help them. So if you mark yes, Brady, who was our wonderful MC today, that did all the initial headlining, he's going to call you and line
Dave,
an appointment up with me. Yeah,
we do have a question that came in.
good.
It's
Let's take it. Let's take it.
yep. Yep. Does a divorced spouse, higher earner, have to be collecting Social Security in order for the lower earner divorced spouse to collect off the higher earner's record?
Just the other way around. So the lower earner has got, here's what happens. The lower earner has to take, okay, and then the higher earner has to take for the lower earner to get it. Yes, he does. Absolutely. That was one of the 5 poll questions. Not poll, but one of the 5 questions that we had on the test was that. Yeah, so the spouse, the spouse, if they want to get half, like, for example, let's say you got a person that has an $800 benefit and $2,000. Well, if the lower one just takes it herself, she'll get 800. Say it's a she gets 800. Then if the husband takes his 2,000, now she can jump up and gets a $200 top up. 1,000 goes to 1,200, but the higher one has to take. Okay.
Perfect.
Any other questions at all?
That's what we've got.
Okay, and I do have one more question also. A person said that $2,750. Is there any other cost to the Social Security seminar? No. With that, you get the actual presentation itself. You get 3 coachings from me to coach you up on Social Security. You get about 20 attachments. You get everything that you actually need to give at the Social Security workshop itself. We got one tomorrow. We got one on Thursday. So I hope I get 10, 15 appointments from that Social Security workshop. I've already gotten, I hope I get another 10, 12 from Retirement Boss Radio. Getting in front of people like that, it keeps you, I'm 67 years old, but I work efficiently by really being in front of clients or prospects or on the phone with them all day long. That's what I do. and that's where my how my production is because I'm just extremely productive when it comes to a marketing to get in front. We're having appointments. The more appointments you have, the more closes to have you'll have, the more production you'll end up having. So I want to tell you, and then
Dave, we
Brady,
got
yeah,
one more
okay,
question that did
all
come
right,
in.
all
One
right.
last question. How does the divorced spouse find out the other spouse's record?
Yep. So when she goes into the Social Security Administration, does it over the phone. What she'll need is her. Well, there has to be a proof of marriage, the decree, proof of divorce, and their Social Security number. They have those three things. They'll give you anything you want. It doesn't affect the other person's his or her Social Security in any way. But those are the three things that you need when you talk to Social Security.
Perfect. And then we did actually get one more in.
Okay.
Does the widow get full benefit of deceased or half? And then can
Yep.
SSA help tell
Well,
what her
they'll
options
go
are going
do
to be there?
go do just do the first one. She
That
gets
it was a
yeah,
two part.
yeah.
Yep.
Yeah, she gets full. As long as she is full retirement age or over, she gets the full survivor's benefit. If she takes it and she's younger than full retirement age, younger than 66 or 66 too, like I am, or 67, which is the max. If she's younger, then it is discounted down. Okay, so that's how that works. So what's the second part of the question?
Second part is, can SSA help tell what her options are going to be there?
No, they cannot. They can't give advice. Can't give options. They can give the highest benefit right now, and they can't scenario plan. That's why when a person comes to us, we can ask about their health. We can ask about their past DNA with the family. How about drugs they're taking? What about how long they think they'll live? How about what their income sources are? What their asset sources are? We go through all of that, and that's what I do off of that 5 pillars of income, and it's a very easy way to go in and to just to go from that Social Security and transition into the actual sales process itself. Okay, so if you mark yes, and we're going to be closing this down here within the next minute because we're closing up shop today. I want to tell everybody thank you very much for attending with us. My name is Dave Pemper, Lazarus Coaching. Lazarus is biblical Lazarus. My slogan, I get a kick out of this. So my slogan is, um, because Lazarus, of course, is Jesus raised, or Lazarus was raised by Jesus from the dead. So it's make your sales come to life, and that's what I help you do. And one of the ways we can do that is with Social Security. So Brady, I'll turn it over to you, and we can close her on up for the day.
That sounds excellent. Like Dave said, really appreciate everyone's time this morning, and hope everyone has a wonderful rest of your Tuesday. You as well, Dave.
Okay, bye everybody.